Manti Te'o had originally claimed, and Deadspin covered this in greater detail, that he met his girlfriend on after a football game in Palo Alto.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why this became headline news is because he had lost his grandmother. Okay, his grandmother passed away. He was very close with her. And, you know, of course, that is a very depressing and difficult thing to go through. But after he lost his grandmother, then he alleged that his girlfriend died from leukemia. Before she died from leukemia, she had gotten into a serious car accident.
Yeah.
And as she was recovering, doctors had discovered that she had leukemia, and then she passed away. Now, after that happened, he played a game, Notre Dame played against Michigan State, and Notre Dame won. So everyone was like, oh my God, this guy is an American hero.
And he did particularly well.
He did particularly well. He's a great football player, there's no question about it. So everyone was basically applauding him, saying that he is, you know, this heroic college football figure because he went through these 2 serious losses, and then he still found a way to make it to the field and play this wonderful game.
Yeah.
So now Deadspin is revealing that this woman never even existed. And the question is, was this something that Manti Te'o made up, or was this really some sort of weird scam against him?
Mm-hmm.
John?
Yeah, so the story is incredibly detailed, incredibly complex. Deadspin has, I think, a regularly updated edition of this on their website, and you can go to it, and it's incredibly long. And so I'm going to get some of the details I'm wrong, I'm sure. But I do know that you mentioned that he claimed that he had met her after a game in Palo Alto. And if you read the articles, there's numerous instances of references that imply that it had not just been an online or telephone-based relationship, that they had met before. Even family members supposedly commented to that effect.
Yes, I love that you brought that up. In fact, let me read you one of Manti Te'o's quotes. And by the way, his name is epic. I can't stop like wanting to pronounce it and say it, but it's great. He had said previously, I lost 2, you know, women that I truly love, but I had my family around me. I had my football family around me. I had my girlfriend's football family around me. And at the end of the day, families are forever. I'm going to see them again, and it's going to be a very happy day when I do.
Yeah, I don't see that particular statement as implying there that he's seen them. That's the sort of thing that people say after someone dies. Look, I don't know. I don't like, the one part about this that I don't like, and this is going to end up looking silly when we find out that he'll eventually admit that he had been faking it, probably, I imagine anyway, is that people are saying, well, it was just an online relationship. How could he love her? Like, that means it's got to have been a fake or something. Look, I don't know how, assuming that his version of events is true, how he could have been fooled for this long, but people can have relationships online or through letters where they feel incredibly close to the person.
Right. I mean, it's not, you know, unbelievable that someone would fall in love with another individual online. That kind of stuff does happen. But it's just strange that he had been on the record saying that he had met her in person, that he had spent time with her in person. And then all of a sudden, this relationship went from being a face-to-face personal experience to, oh, it was just an online romance. And it turns out that that online romance never even existed, right? That it wasn't actually another woman, you know, on the internets. It was actually just, you know, somebody playing
a friend of his.
Yeah.
Now, so if you read the details on that, it's apparently another football player is alleged to be the one who took the photos of the girl, who is actually a living girl, and used them to pass off as the girlfriend of Manti. Now, the fact that they know each other seems to indicate that some sort of collaboration is more likely than if it had just been some online weirdo who was trying to prey on a football player. So I think that if that ends up being accurate, and that's what I've read on Deadspin, then that seems to be pretty strong evidence that this had been a fake. The way that he had talked about it in public during press conferences and when speaking to sports journalists after games, the fact that he was saying that she said, you know, I want you to keep on playing, don't miss a game. That's why he apparently missed her fictional funeral. All that seems to play into a storyline of trying to use this to appear to be this heroic figure.
Right.
And look, if it turns out that he really believes it, I'm going to feel awful for all of these things, but I have to go based on the evidence that we have, and that's the way I would read it.
Right, and this story is still developing, so I'm sure by the time you guys watch this on YouTube, there will be more details to this story.
I got some new findings that came out today, actually. He did an interview with Notre Dame November 13th. He said, his last letter before the Stanford game, October 13th. That's 31 days after her supposed death. So that should, I mean, like, look, maybe she could
mail takes a while.
have sent these letters in advance. Who the hell knows? But then he said, to Sports Illustrated's Pete Thamel, I believe his name is pronounced.
It's a cool tattoo.
That he received the last letter from her before the Wake Forest game, November 17th. So which one is it? You said the last letter was before the Stanford game, October 13th, and then you told Sports Illustrated that your last letter was before the Wake Forest game, November 17th. And then he found out on December 6th that, well, she's not real, and he got a call. And then he said December 8th, voluntarily, he kept feeding into this hoax that she existed prior to the Heisman Trophy award, the awards show. So he went on with it, even though he knew that it didn't exist anymore.
Okay, Justice Ricky has provided evidence on this case, and I think that it might be fair to do a TYT Supreme Court on this story.
Nice.
All right, so Cenk would just say guilty or not guilty, but I'm going to say, is he lying or is he not lying? I'm going to say he's lying.
He is guilty of lying.
Yes.
He's lying.
Question that I had was, did he get fooled first and then go to the lie? As you said, we had more and more of this stuff coming out. He lied from the beginning.
Yeah,
Come on.
definitely.
There's too many other information coming in to not see that.
I'm undecided still, to be honest with you.
Oh, wow.
Like what I did with the TYT Sports video, I basically have three conclusions. He either knew about it the entire time and he came up with this very elaborate lie. He is the dumbest person in the world and the most gullible human being I've ever seen.
That could be part of it, though.
Or I don't know if you mentioned it, but he could be gay.
I love that you brought that up.
With Ronaya Tuiasosopo.
I love that you brought that up because as JR was making his ruling, John was writing on the note, what about the gay angle? What about the gay angle?
I didn't write it that big.
So let's discuss that a little bit, okay? So Amanda Turkle, I respect her a great deal. I don't think that she goes out there to, like, you know, do any character assassination or anything like that. She tweeted that it is a possibility that he could have made up his girlfriend to cover the fact that he's gay. Now, of course, that's speculation, and she's not saying that he is in fact gay or anything like that, but do you guys think that that is a possibility? John?
I mean, maybe it's just that, you know, everybody knows I'm an atheist, so I see religious people in a slightly different way than other people might. The whole Mormon angle, definitely, it's intriguing, and it makes me think that it's more likely. I'm not sure that that's based on all that much, but I do get that sort of feeling. The thing that would make me believe that that's probably not the case, that it's more about the fame and the potential money and the Heisman or the draft or something like that, is if you wanted to just do it for the purposes of hiding the fact that you're gay, you would just be like, yeah, I have a girlfriend, she's great. You wouldn't make up a Twitter account and have Instagram and make it so complicated.
I know.
Just don't say, we have a private relationship, we don't want to talk about it.
Did he spend more time practicing football or finding fake pictures of some woman that he could use? And who was the woman
or
that he
just
took
find
pictures
a girl.
of?